Thanks, everyone. I'd just like to start by asking a question to everyone in the room. Put your hand up if you've ever felt nervous or anxious or even a little bit scared when you think about climate change. Oh, everyone's hands up immediately. I guess, firstly, thank you for sharing that. And it's clear to see that you're not alone in this. In fact, I have really felt that as well. And as an individual, it can be really overwhelming to think about what impact you can make on such a global problem. But I'm here today to share a couple of stories that have given me hope, and I hope will give you some as well. So we'll start with Phil, who's actually streaming in on the call. He's based in Brisbane. Phil, I met about 5 years ago when we were both volunteering, and he's a warm and friendly, recently retired paramedic. And Phil would tell me that he used to dread the summer heat waves. Why? Because year on year, he saw increased numbers of caseloads from patients suffering from heat stress, heat stroke, or other heat-related impacts. And what he found really shocking was that many of them had cooling in their homes. So he'd ask them, why don't you turn on your cooling? And the answer was the same pretty much every time. We can't afford it. And I'm really sad to say that this is a challenge that isn't isolated to just Brisbane, but is happening all across Australia. Many people cannot afford, due to energy poverty, to turn on their heating in winter or their cooling in summer. And we know, and Phil knew, that extreme weather and extreme heat is only going to get worse because of the impacts of climate change. So Phil, he wanted to do something, and he'd already taken a bunch of steps to reduce his footprint, but he wanted to do more. Now I'm going to leave you with Phil for a few minutes and take you across the country to a small town in Walpole, which is based in regional WA, where a woman we were working with, Cherie, was facing quite a similar problem. Cherie was the manager of the local neighbourhood centre, which is a really vital place for people in the community to gather and connect and meet with one another. But like Phil's patients, Cherie couldn't afford to put on the heating or turn on the cooling. And I haven't been to Walpole, but you can imagine regional WA, it gets hot. So Cherie wanted to install solar and she wanted to improve the energy outcomes for her community. But like many nonprofits across the country, she couldn't afford the upfront cost and she didn't understand how to navigate the process. It was technical, it was complex. She wasn't sure if she was getting a good deal. And so that's where we came in. So to introduce myself, my name is Georgia, and I'm so proud to be a volunteer and the chairperson of CORENA. And what we do is this. We provide community organisations like your local school, kinder, aged care home, or community centre with interest-free finance so they can install solar, purchase an electric vehicle, improve their energy efficiency, boost their resilience, and cut their costs. And while doing all of this, they're also cutting their carbon emissions as well. To date, we're supporting our 60th project at the moment, ranging from all across the country. But here's one thing that really excites me. We've lent out $1.8 million in loans to date, using only $900,000 in donations. And you might ask, well, how is that actually possible? It's because we have a pretty cool and unique model. What happens is this. Everyday donors, like Phil, who I talked about earlier, donate to us, and we pool those individual donations together to lend it out to a community project, just like Cherie's. Cherie, or Walpole Community Resource Centre, will repay the loan using their energy bill savings, and as those repayments come in, we take them together with new donations and lend them out to another project. So what this means in essence is that a donation doesn't just work to fund one project, but funds countless others over time. In fact, $100 donated to our first project has now achieved $450 in interest-free loans, and that number's set to grow. And this is what really excited Phil. He realised that CORENA was a model where he could donate to, one, reduce emissions immediately, the root cause of climate change, but also help people beat the heat. And he knew that if he pitched in, his donation wasn't going to just work once, but work again and again. And so Phil has funded countless projects, including the Walpole Community Resource Centre, which I'm so thrilled to share, is now able to use the solar on its roof to use as air conditioning every single summer. And once Walpole's loan is repaid, they'll be able to invest those savings back into their core purpose, supporting the local community. Our model works. We've funded countless projects, but here's what's really exciting is that we're really scalable. It took us 10 years to fund $1 million in interest-free loans, but just 2.3 years later, we've already hit 1.8 million total loans, and we expect to hit 2 million by early next year. But we have many more projects reaching out to us than what we can actually afford to lend. Community organisations well across the country, all supporting different types of community members. With your support tonight, half of the money raised will go directly to our next project, making sure we can get more projects out the door and installed. The other half will go to support the vital technical advice and support that we give to these organisations so that they feel confident in the business case and the project that they're equipping themselves with. CORENA's model really excites me, and as someone that did used to feel really scared when it came to climate change, seeing the impact that individuals have made to come together and create a $1.8 million impact gives me hope, and I hope it gives you some too. Thank you so much.